kind of add on to your game?
Just try to be more consistent. Honestly, it's been cool to be in the system for a few years now, getting to work the same stuff, just kind of mastering all the techniques and everything that we do. But consistency has really been the biggest thing for me this year. Just trying to stay consistent with my training, my recovery, and then also just on the field, just trying to make sure learning from my mistakes and then capitalizing on things that I do well.
It's hard to tell sometimes when a guy switches numbers whether he's physically different from year to year, but you seem slimmer and quicker than maybe you've been in the past. Is that, are we seeing that correctly?
I have been hearing that the number is a little deceiving. People aren't used to it. They're used to that 59. I feel better. Honestly, I feel like I'm moving better. I feel more in shape. That was a big focus for me. I'm really the same weight, but I feel like I have a better build right now than I have in the past. And, I'm glad that it looks that way because it feels that way for sure.
You stayed this off-season training. I saw somewhere with Brad and Demetrius, right?
Yeah, so we stay here in the summer.
So, but what did you take from them as far as their preparation?
I mean, I'm used to how they prepare. So with them, the word consistency I've been repeating over and over again. That's really the biggest thing with them. That's why they've had such big success here, and that's why they've been able to stay here as mainstays of this organization. And I realized that obviously last year I wanted something to change, and I knew that if I stayed back and trained with them, Dre's here in the off seasons as well. It really helped me kind of see what it takes from 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. whenever we're in and out in those training days, how much really goes in, and just kind of falling after their lead.
Curtis, your play recognition stands out. I mean, you're really recognizing the plays quickly and moving fast. Is that film study, or is that being in this defense for a number of years? Where does that come from?
It's a number of things. You hit on it, film study, obviously, but really it's just being in the system and gaining the confidence, honestly. This is the most confident I've felt since I've been here, and that's testament to Johnny and the other backers, like I said, helping me get prepared and get to that point. But I just feel really comfortable right now diagnosing stuff and also just taking the chances and shooting gaps, like you said. That's one thing I've struggled with in the past is play recognition, almost looking like I'm hesitating a little bit, and that's just the one thing that I have really been trying to work on this offseason and this preseason.
Chris, have you learned anything on the kick coverage stuff in the preseason and how it's gone, or is it going to take until the regular season to sort of?
It's definitely a work in progress. It's something that none of us are used to. Only the guys that come from, I think, the USFL and the XFL have really done it before. We've been working a lot of just technical stuff and a lot of technique to try and win one-on-one matchups. But scheme-wise, it's really is a work in progress. We're learning as we go. Leverage is the biggest thing for us, honestly. That returner is going to have to make a decision at one point, and if you're playing your leverage, especially to the front side of that return, usually good things are going to happen.
Is there a feeling in the regular season, Team 50 having some stuff that's going to be some unknowns, like some things you haven't seen before that you're going to have to deal with in games?
I feel like, that's a general tendency in the preseason. You're obviously not going to show your complete hand, but I think in years past we know from kickoff return, there's only so much that you can do. Obviously, reverses are going to be the biggest thing that we're probably not seeing right now that are going to come up. And that's just the same thing, testing someone's leverage on the backside. If people are crashing in, not holding their leverage, not playing discipline, I think that's the one thing you'll probably see early on in the regular season. But I think a lot of teams are just going to try to focus on hitting it downhill and getting good field position to start.
Curtis, I think that some people in your position would probably be looking for going to go somewhere else and let's see, if I have a better chance somewhere else. This is your third training camp, fourth year with the team. Why the 49ers? Why do you keep coming back? Why are you devoted to make this happen here?
Yeah, I mean, I don't mean to sound like a broken record, but I really recognize that this is a special place. It's a really special organization, and I've been grateful enough to be here for as long as I have and learn under the guys that I have. And it's like you said, it's not always the easiest thing to not play and to be practice squad over active roster. But for me, I personally believe I've needed a lot of development in order to actually be prepared to play and do substantial things in this league. And that's really been my focus, just trying to control what I can as far as the work. And hasn't really shown up on the field yet, but I'm just, like I said, trying to keep my head down, and whatever happens, but I feel good about the work that I put in.
You sound like you've done quite a bit of self-reflection. Has there been something along the way here, a frustration level or something else that has kind of got you to this point where you're like, hey, I need to focus in on this so that I can, like you say, achieve the goals that you want to reach?
Yeah, I mean, I've been humbled a decent amount in my time in the league. I wasn't necessarily completely prepared. I don't think I did enough when I first came in as an undrafted rookie in Denver, and that kind of showed. And even when I came here, I was rudely awakened to see what it's really like. Like the guys, like I said, I'm blessed because of how special that linebacker group is. When I first got here, we had Aziz, we had Dre, Fred. Obviously, they were a little bit younger, but they were already seasoned in what they did, and I saw a difference. I'd never been around a group like that, so for me, I realized I was very behind the eight ball in my personal opinion, and I wanted to be a part of that group really bad, and that's still how I feel. And so that's kind of just where my head's been at every year. I try to just take a step back and see how have I developed, but also how can I continue to develop. And I think that it's really helped me out, and I have good people behind me, good people, a good support system at home. So self-reflection is big for me, and I think just every year it's just kind of trying to chug forward and continue finding a way to get better at something.
How difficult is it to kind of get to that point where you're looking at yourself rather than like, oh, they're doing me wrong, or that whatever kind of excuses that could be out there?
I mean, it's easy to fall back on excuses, but for me personally, I know that if I can control what I can control, everything else will take care of itself. I think it kind of shows that way. Things don't always go your way, and that's just kind of how the world works. And like I said, I've been humbled multiple times, so it's nothing that's new to me. But like I said, I have a bunch of great people in this building, not just in the linebacker room, that have shown me that if you put the work in, things will come to fruition more often than not.
You were in line, I think, to play in that NFC Championship game if Oren Burks was kept out, I think, with the knee injury. It was almost like a game time decision where they played him instead of you. Was that a hard moment to swallow, or did it fuel you through this offseason?
Yeah, it was difficult. I was obviously super excited. Those are moments that you dream of as a kid. Playing in a championship game with those types of stipulations, trying to go to the Super Bowl, I was very excited. But at the end of the day, Oren was ready, and that's just kind of, I knew going in that was the case. So it wasn't like it was a surprise to me. But again, fuel, sure. But for me, I'm fueled more so by just my personal aspirations, not necessarily how things have happened over the past.
Curtis, the room you guys are in right now, really talented. You guys probably watched that Saints film. What's Johnny saying about Jalen and Tatum and some of these young kids that they were balling the other night?
Yeah, like I said, I've said it before. Johnny's the ultimate positive coach, which I love. Honestly, he coaches us hard, but he makes sure to find a positive spin and a way to really deal with positive reinforcement to everybody. But Tatum and Jalen are doing amazing. All the young guys, Dia as well, has had an amazing camp. Obviously, he didn't play this week, but he's been doing great. It's really cool to see their progression, especially Tatum as a rookie. It's really hard to come into this system and show that much flash as a rookie. And it's just a testament to him and his skill and how much raw talent he has. But, Johnny has nothing but good things to say about everybody. I'm proud of Jalen, too. He's worked really hard to develop, and it's showing on the field, in my opinion.
All right. Thanks, Curtis.
Thanks, Chris.
Thank you.
Thanks, Josh.